Now in this chorus, I mix the blues with the bebop scale, starting off with very bluesy sound, using a bend in there to get to that high E flat. Right? When we bend, we use the note before, and we use all three fingers for strength and bend the string. Okay, and then for the next two measures, I go all the way down the bebop scale, starting, instead of on the root, I start on the fifth. Right, landing on the third F sharp of D7, the 4 chord, right? So I have this tone in mind, okay? As I'm going down the scale, I'm thinking of the third, to land on that third. Again, if we think ahead to chord tones, to good solid sounding chord tones, we could play scales, we could play chromatics, we could play whatever to get to that tone. In this case, we're choosing the bebop scale. And then we end with a little Charleston phrase there, and then more blues. Right, you hear that? Some good solid blues there to go along with, right, to go along with that opening phrase. So we're always trying to make melody by recapitulating these original ideas that we start a solo off with. And then back down to the bebop scale when we hit the A7. Okay, so let's take a look at that D chord again. Back to the A. To the bebop scale. Now we're on the F7th. We're just doing some chord tones. Same thing on the E. And now right down the bebop scale to end the solo. And notice what I'm doing here. I'm not going right down the scale. I'm going to skip a tone, then back up, and then back down. Okay, just to mix it up. We have to mix these scales up, mix the notes up, so we can make some interesting ideas so it doesn't just sound like we're playing scales. So from the top again, we start with the blues. Now right down the full bebop scale. Right down to the third of D. And more blues. Back to the bebop scale, using different rhythmics. F7th, the chord tones, to the E, and end. Right, mixing up the scale notes so we make it more interesting melodically. A lot in here too, mixing the blues with this bebop scale. This is what this whole course is about, taking these different tonal centers and mixing them up with the blues. So this is a great example. Now let's move on.